I'm Bob Spinozzi and welcome to Small Town. We are so fortunate to have Littleton Light and Water. And today I'm with energy efficiency engineer Connor Reardon. Connor, thanks so much for being with me.
Yeah, of course, and thanks for having me.
You know, if you're not used to saying your title, it's a little bit of a tongue twister.
It is, yeah.
So as an energy efficiency engineer, what are some of the things that you're involved in?
Yeah, so my main role is to manage and create the energy conservation programs. And I also work with tracking load, interconnections, and then I do a lot of other things on like the side by working on the website, community outreach, and a little bit of marketing.
So Connor, you're monitoring the usage, basically.
Yes, yep. So we keep track of how much load that we have, so we can measure, how much energy we need to supply for our customers. So that's something that I track on a monthly basis.
Okay, and of course you're covering two towns because Littleton Light and Water is also in Boxborough.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. Yep.
So it's raining like heck right now. We've had a lot of alternately rainy days and a lot of hot days, a lot of stretches of hot weather. So when the demand is increased, how do you handle that?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So one thing we do, we can do our best to reduce the peak. So one way that we manage that is we operate 2 generators on our campus, and those are really meant to reduce our monthly transmission peak and the annual capacity peak. And the transmission peak is basically the maximum amount of energy that the light department relies on to be able to provide power to our customers. And the importance of that is the higher the peak, the higher the cost of power is. So with the generators, they help reduce the cost of power, for when there's a peak event.
Okay, and what roughly are the hours for peak and off peak? How do you estimate that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Right now, the peak is about from I think 3 to about 9. So 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And so like our electric vehicle program that we'll talk about, I think, in a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
The off-peak hours are from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay, so that's important to know. And we're going to get to electric vehicles in a few minutes. But
yep.
So you want to recharge during the off-peak hours,
yes,
if you can.
That's the best.
Well, you find a way to do it.
Best practice, yeah. Yep, right. Yep.
Okay, now here's something else you mentioned you're involved in. Conservation is on everyone's mind,
yep.
And you have a green rewards program and incentives at Littleton Electric and Water. So could you go over some of those incentives?
Yeah, of course. So for 2021, we actually added on some new offers. So we offer a rebate for home cordless battery equipment. So things like a chainsaw, lawnmowers, hedge trimmers. So basically anything that requires a battery that's 18 volts or more, those have a rebate now. And that's really good because the goal of that is because they don't require any fossil fuels, and there's no oil, no gas, and there's no exhaust, so it's all batteries.
Okay.
And another one is a tankless electric water heater. We offer a $100 rebate on those. That's new this year. And a lot of the ones that we've had for over the years is Energy Star appliances, heat pumps, mini splits, and a smart thermostat. Trying to think off the top of my head, but
So yeah, because I know one year we replaced a washer or dryer, a couple of refrigerator, and we qualified for a rebate because we were replacing existing appliances
Right.
at that time.
Nice. Yep.
But in-house, down at your office, I believe, don't you have some LED bulbs that you offer for discounts as well? And
Yeah, we do.
even-
Yeah. So we also offer an online store, if you will, that we offer discounted light bulbs and low flow water fixtures.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else come to mind for rebates as far as heat and heating and cooling your home?
So for heating and cooling, there's the mini split heat pumps, air source heat pumps, and a central AC rebate, and those go from $100 up to $500.
Okay.
And those are based on the energy efficiency ratios.
And we want to look, again now, we want to look for the what kind of star? The
The Energy Star.
Energy Star.
Energy Star rating. Yep.
Energy Star appliance.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
Will do.
Yep. Nice.
Now, it's no secret that for decades now, Littleton Light has had one of the cheapest rates in the entire state. You've got flexibility, purchasing power. Now, are you also using renewable energy at this point?
We are, yes. And that's been actually increasing over the years. Right now, it's at 33% of the purchased power that we have. So in that is wind, solar, and hydro. And those are relatively all local sources in New England.
Is there a breakdown on there where you might use more solar or wind than a hydro or?
Yeah, of course. So for example, solar would be down in the winter because there's not a lot of...
No, but percentage-wise for
Oh.
usage.
Yeah, and I'm not sure off the top of my head, but we do track all that. Yep.
Okay, so that's another thing that you track,
Yeah. Yep.
basically.
Right.
Something might get washed out today with all this heavy rain, and we have the community notification system.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know in the past I've been notified by text,
Yep.
but there are other ways of being notified.
Yeah. So if people want to be notified through that system, which we highly encourage, they can add their email, their contact number, and we also communicate through Facebook and Instagram as well.
Okay, so either landline phone or cell phone,
Yes. Yep.
of course.
Yep.
And of course, it's, there could be a hurricane, there could be any bad winter storm like a tornado. And of course, right now, if we lived out west, we'd have those wildfires.
True.
And it would be very critical to have it in a situation like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So let's pivot now to electric cars. Now, according to industry data, electric cars made up 3% of auto sales in May and June of this year. They're not mainstream yet, but they're becoming more and more prevalent on the road. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, of course. We've actually seen, for us, the utility, we have about 130 or so customers that have EVs that we know of, and we just know because they participate in our program, and we expect that there's probably more out there. And we actually bought our first full electric vehicle in 2019, which we actually had help with the state with that. We got a grant. So there's actually, the state has a lot of nice grants out there to help people adopt EVs and make their purchase for an EV.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you have to, you don't gas up those things, you charge them up.
Yep.
And I want to talk about home chargers in just a minute. But first, where can electrical vehicle, where can it be charged up in town?
In town here, yeah. We have 5 level 2 chargers.
Let's stop just for a second now.
Yep.
You mentioned level 2. So how many levels are there? And what is the difference between them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's 3 different levels. Level 1 is basically when you charge your car at through a regular household outlet at 120 volts. That's a much slower charge. So if you want to increase the speed, you can go to a level 2, and that will charge at 240 volts, and that can add up to 50 miles of range per hour. But that all depends on the size and type of the car's battery. So we have all level 2 chargers right now in town. The next highest level is the DC fast chargers. Those are much more.
So we're going to call that level 3?
What?
Call that level 3?
Level 3,
Yeah.
Yep. And that's something that you see in like the in like a shopping plaza, and we're actually trying to get one in town for us. We applied through a grant, so we'll see if we can get one of those.
Okay. And before I interrupted you, you were going to tell us where they are in town.
Yes. So our level 2 chargers, the newest one, we actually installed it at the Sargent Library in Boxborough, and the other ones, there's one at our office on 39 Air Road. There's 2 over at Acton Toyota on Great Road, and then we have one here at the Town Hall and Library.
Right.
Yep.
So you've driven the town-owned vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It's great. It's great. Yeah. It actually has a lot of zip. Not that I speed, but yeah, it's actually really quiet, nice to drive, really easy.
I've never been in one, but you're going to just see a typical gauge that shows you when it has to be charged up? Or?
Yeah. Yep. And we actually don't have to charge it that much. We don't really drive it a whole lot, but our full electric vehicle is a Chevy Bolt, and it has 350 miles of range, which is more than enough.
It's quite a bit, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Connor, you mentioned the level 3. I know that this is a little bit away from Littleton Light, but Tesla has charging stations, I believe, for that level 3 up by Littleton Urgent Care.
Yes, that's right. Yep. They just put those in, I think, this year. They just.
Yeah,
put those in.
I think it's maybe been this summer, or this spring. Yeah.
Right.
So, all right, well, we've talked enough about chargers. You're going to show us how to use one.
I am.
Well, let's go over and look.
That sounds great.
So here we are at Littleton Light and Water. And you're going to show us, now, one more time now, the 3 levels of charging mechanisms, stations. You're going to show us a level 1, I believe. No,
this is level 2.
this is level 2.
Level 2,
okay.
yep.
Okay.
So this charger here, this is the ChargePoint Home Flex. It's a residential charger. This is the one that we have in our group buy program. So customers who are interested, we purchase these in bulk and we get a discount. So we pass that on. And we also add on the $300 rebate. So it significantly reduces the cost of purchasing one of these.
So if you are going to buy an EV, it makes all the sense in the world to purchase the equipment here for charging.
Yep. And also, if they might not want this charger, they can shop around and get any level 2 charger. And if it has Wi-Fi in it, they can still apply for the $300 rebate.
Wow, that's super.
Yep.
Super.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to give me a little demonstration here. I've never really been up this close to one before.
Okay,
so.
awesome. So this is hardwired right now, and with these chargers, you can decide on the amperage. This one can go from 16 to 50 amp. So for us, we have it set to a 40 amp. So for the Bolt, all you really could do is just push this button and it unlocks, and you come over here. You want to pop it into the car's port, and you'll hear a click, and that's really all that you have to do. Yeah.
So how long will this take? It depends how much charge it needs, obviously.
Yeah.
But what's the range in time?
So level 2, depending on the battery, it can add up to 50 miles of range per hour. And right now this car is completely charged, so it's not going to take any more juice. And the other important thing as well is you can set the charger on the app or the vehicle to schedule when it'll charge.
Okay. Now, I believe in the studio you mentioned that this has a range of 350 miles.
Yep.
So that is to say that it would take about, if it's really drained down to the very end, it would take about 7 hours to,
That's about right.
charge up.
Yep. Yep.
And again, we want to remember to try to do it off peak if we can.
Yes.
And
Off peak overnight.
You
yep.
can just plug in before you go to bed, and when you get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all ready to go when you wake up. Yeah.
So, anything else you can tell us about them?
So if you do set your schedule to charge off peak, you can apply through our program, and you can get a $8 a month bill credit off your bill. So that's to incentivize the off-peak charging, and that actually also helps to reduce your cost of actually fueling your vehicle.
Okay, so if you have an electric vehicle, you're certainly going to be doing this every month.
Yep.
So you can look forward to that credit.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Yep.
So, well, you want to just, we won't do it on camera, but go ahead.
Yeah, so, and then if you're done, you can always just push the button and it pops out. And you want to close that and just pop it back in the port, and you're all set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not an employee, so I'm not going to be allowed to ask to get a ride in this thing. But.
Yep. A test drive, yeah. Yep.
So, you do if we do want to order one here,
Yep.
we should call up well ahead of time. What kind of lead time is there?
So yeah, right now we're out of stock. We ordered some that should be here this month, hopefully. So the earlier, the better.
Okay.
Say, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much, Connor.
Of course, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Anytime.
Thank you for watching. Stay dry and stay cool. We have a little summer left ahead of us. Take care now.